in the world.
Well, there are lots of thoroughbreds here today. That Dalmatian in the prime of its health, and what a day we have seen. We've got correct weight on the Tessio stage. Let's check the dividends.
Number 5, Gentle Genius, 520 and 190. 9, Paris Heartbeat, 590. And 14, Rosa Murata, 990. Quinella, 70.50. Trifecta, 2,632. And the Exacta, 118.90.
Race 9 today is a feature. It's the Group 2 $170,000 Waterford Crystal Mile. Here's the lineup.
1 Accelerator, Jim Cassidy. 2 Atlantis Prince, Frankie Dettori. 3 Crawl, Corey Brown. 4 Gordo, Darren Gauci. 5 Scenic Peak, Danny Nikolic. 6 Weasel Will, Damien Oliver. 7 Royal Code, Brett Preble. 8 Dandy Kid, Luke Curry. 9 Chattanooga, Peter Mertens. 10 Super Impressive, Glenn Boss. 11 El Nino, Craig Newitt. 12 Mr Magoo, Stephen King. 13 Burglar, Kieran McAvoy. 14 Flavour, Reese Wheeler. And 15 Mr Casanova, Reese McLeod.
Kieran McAvoy on Burglar, replacing Chris Muntz, as we told you earlier, indisposed after his ride under fire. This will be a wide and big betting race, Greg Radley.
This is going to be a good betting race. There are 4 under double figures and the rest are out the gate. $6 for Accelerator, $5 about Gordo and also Royal Code, and $7 Weasel Will. Punters will make one of these a clear favourite. I'm not sure which one. 4 under double figures, pretty tight down here.
Well, they're trying to work it out on course. They may be guided and influenced with the tote dividends. Let's see how they're showing.
1 Accelerator, 540. 2 Atlantis Prince, 24.10. 3 Crawl, 34.40. 4 Gordo, 4.30. 5 Scenic Peak, 17.50. 6 Weasel Will, 7.70. 7 Royal Code, 5.20. 8 Dandy Kid, 27.30. 9 Chattanooga, 32. 10 Super Impressive, 35.20. 11 El Nino, 13.90. 12 Mr Magoo, 16.60. 13 Burglar, 33.10. 14 Flavour, 36.20. And 15 Mr Casanova, 59.30.
So Gordo, the favourite here. Graham Samperi has selected Royal Code. There's a bit of a battle between Sydney and Melbourne this race.
Yes, and I've gone along with Graham. I thought Royal Code could win. I thought due to his experience around Moonee Valley, it was a handy run in the Toorak last start, but this is his track and this is his race, and they'll be very disappointed if he doesn't run boldly. You do feel as if it is D-Day for him today, don't you, Royal Code? Well, there is a unique piece of racing memorabilia on offer from the Australian Racing Museum. Here are the details.
2002 Australia's Racing Champions. This magnificent print features 3 of Australasia's greatest modern thoroughbreds. Ethereal, the shining star of last spring, winner of an unforgettable Cup stubble. Northerly, the fighting tiger from the west. And the incomparable Sunline, the greatest mare to have raced on Australian soil. Each of these 500 limited edition prints has been personally signed by equine artist Alistair Simpson. This wonderful piece of racing memorabilia is priced at $395. To order, you can phone 1800 889 992 or purchase online at www.sportswatch.com.au.
Not bad value, particularly after Northerly has added a second Cox Plate today. Francis Murphy out and about.
Well, the Cox Plate is more about racing than it is fashion, but for the seriously fashionable, it's another excuse to get dressed up. Someone who always looks fabulous at the races is designer Katie Davenport. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Francis. It's great to be here.
Yes, and I'm wearing one of your fantastic outfits today. It feels great, bright colours. But fashion isn't your only passion when it comes to horse racing.
No, I'm definitely what people would call a racing fanatic. I have my own column in a racing magazine called Turf Monthly and my own racehorse in Perth, who will hopefully be in the Cox Plate next year.
Well, it sounds like you love your horse racing, you love your fashion. We've got a lot in common. We could talk for hours. So, why don't we? Let's go. See you, boys.
Enjoying themselves. What a day we're having at Moonee Valley. We'll have a day next week. It's Amy Victoria Derby Day.
Next Saturday on 7, the Melbourne Cup Carnival begins. Amy Victoria Derby Day from Royal Flemington, the course of history. It's Sydney versus Melbourne as Gay Waterhouse's Platinum Scissors squares up to Helenas from the Corstons Yard. and the Cup horses round off their preparations. The fashion, the expectation, the glorious action. Amy Victoria Derby Day from Flemington. Next Saturday on 7, the new home of Australian horse racing.
On the day where Sunline has had her last start and Northerly has won his second Cox Plate, Trevor McKee, part owner and a trainer of Sunline with Peter Donegan.
It's been an emotional day here at Moonee Valley, none more so than for this man. Trevor McKee, what sort of emotions are going through your body at the moment?
Oh, it's definitely feeling it where, you know, the mare's turned around and got a terrific race. That's what we expected from her all the time. And one thing about it, she's pulled up nice and sound and everything's 100%. So that's the main thing about it. Win, lose or draw, this was the grand finale.
Yeah. After all the wonderful moments that she's given you over the years, when you woke up this morning, did you have to sort of pinch yourself and say, gee, this is the last time we're going to be doing this?
Oh, this is right, yeah, but I'll probably feel more so tomorrow morning when we don't have to bother to work or anything like that. She goes back on the plane tomorrow night to New Zealand and we'll sort out what to do from there.
And overseas from here?
I don't know. No, we go back to New Zealand, sort out whether we've got a stallion to put it to there or whether we send it to elsewhere to cover it to the best we can.
From the moment she set foot on the racecourse today, people were clapping and cheering and asking for your autograph. It must be just such a special feeling to be involved in an animal that is so loved by the public.
Oh, it definitely is. She's fantastic, and it's just been great from the general public's point of view, where they've got in behind her all the time, and you know, it's been a pleasure to deal with the general public and everybody concerned.
And as always in the race, she was brave.
Certainly was brave, and she went a little bit too hard in the middle stages, but she fought and whacked away pretty good at the finish.
There's been a lot of pressure on you in the last couple of weeks and the last week or so, especially after you said that it was going to be her swan song. Thanks for everything you've done, and importantly, thanks for giving us Sunline and some of the memories that will never be taken away from us.
Very good, and I only hope that at some stage I might have something that's good enough to come back again.
Thanks, Trevor.
Very good. Thank you.
Trevor McKee with Peter Donegan and Sunline. Just mentioning that she might have gone a bit hard in the middle of that race.
Yeah, well, perhaps she did. That's the past, but also as the past is the great memories she's left, and we certainly hope that Trevor comes back again, but I think it's very dubious he'll come back again with one as good as Sunline.
What about the Melbourne Cup? We've seen Northerly today. We don't know if he'll start. Fred Kersey's told us he's reluctant, but he sits on it. Rain Gauge beaten into second place, but Media Puzzle today has been well backed. His run at Geelong was awesome. It was a fantastic trial, wasn't it?
It is a fantastic trial, whereas the horse may not be the best cup trial of all. The Geelong Cup is not regarded as that, but have a look at the way this horse in the yellow and the white noseband is absolutely dominating the opposition.
Lengthens his stride. This is a horse who's come across with Vinnie Rowe. Those colours were carried to success by Vintage Crop. Damien Oliver's taken up the ride. He got re-handicapped for 1.5 kilos. And today he's come in for even more support. He's into 7-1 Media Puzzle from 9-1. Interestingly, Rain Gauge hasn't changed from 9s. As we told you, Northerly's crushed right up into 9-1. Have a look at the internationals. And Fred Kersey talked about flying the Australian flag.
Yes, he also talked about not breaking the flagpole, but fit and well, wouldn't you love to see Northerly there?
No doubt about that. Pugin, one of the Godolphins, and Beekeeper with the Godolphin form today. Pretty good with Grandira. And we've seen Media Puzzle. So just on that Geelong Cup win, do you reckon he can create a bit of history and win it?
Yes. Yeah, why? Because he's got Damien Oliver. The problem with these imported stayers is that they've brought the baggage over with them. Some very ordinary riders. Good in Europe, certainly, but just not attuned to Australian conditions. Frankie's, you know, proved me wrong today, but nevertheless, I'll still stick by that in the Melbourne Cup.
Platinum Scissors 15-1 there for the Melbourne Cup. His stablemate Accelerator has done a Lazarus here. We thought he was out for the spring. He won the Epsom brilliantly. He was scratched in the Toorak. Uppy Bob's here. Jimmy Cassidy, the rider for Gay Waterhouse. He's a high-quality horse.
Gay assured me that this horse is back to the peak he was before winning the Epsom at Randwick last start.
This is interesting. Atlantis Prince here for Grandira to do the work as a pacemaker. He's got a very good record at this distance. He's won 3 out of 4.
Yes, and you look at his overall starts, only 11 races for 5 wins. He's obviously a very handy horse. Again, he's got to handle Moonee Valley.
Number 3, Crawl, hasn't won a race at 1600. He's a Stradbroke winner, the winner of 1.3 million, but doesn't win often.
Now he's getting to that stage, but if everything goes his way, he could figure in the finish here.
So that's Crawl, number 3. Stablemate Gordo Flying won the Shannon and Tramway, 3rd in the Epsom.
Yes, possibly the form horse looks a picture. The only problem is Moonee Valley. How will he handle it?
Scenic Peak 5, finished 2nd in the Toorak, went back to 4th on protest. No Moonee Valley starts, but good strike rate, 10 out of 24.
And you would think from the barrier 6, Danny Nickley could give him a nice run. Very, very fit horse.
Weasel Will, this is interesting. He's won the last 2 Waterford Crystals. He's got a fantastic record at a mile. He's won those races, 2nd in Emirates and 3rd in a Doncaster.
Just another example how horses, when they're set for this day, they continue to race well. And I have no doubt he'll race well today.
It's a testing day for Royal Code number 7. Unbeaten at Moonee Valley. He won the Alistair Clark Stakes here. 10th in the Toorak, 3rd in the Dubai Cup. We're going to find out something about him today.
He gets back, and under those circumstances, horses have got to have breaks in running. Certainly they weren't there in the Toorak last start. Perhaps they will be today, but he is a promising horse.
Dandy Kid up in class, but down in weight. He dropped 7 kilos after a 5th at Chattanooga. Terrific record at the Valley. 14 starts, 8 wins.
I just wonder whether he's quite up to this class, but nevertheless, he's, you know, again, he's a horse in superb condition and obviously prime for the day.
Chattanooga was 15th in the Toorak, but he won at the Valley before that with 58.5. 2nd in a Futurity, has a wide draw.
Yes, it's interesting to just think about where he will get in the draw, but he does like Moonee Valley, and that is a major plus for him.
10 is super impressive. Interesting horse. He's down in weight after a 6th behind Palladium Star. He's a 7-year-old. He's been lightly raced.
Yes, the lightly raced aspect of it, super impressive, does catch your eye. Certainly, his last start effort was good, and previous to that, he won in good style. He's one to take in the trifectas.
El Nino's been up a long time. Since April, he's had 11 starts for 3 wins, 4 placings. 2nd to Assortive Lad last start. First try at 1600.
Yes, well, there is a distance query there. 4 gate should get a nice run. That might enable him to get a bit of a cuddle during the race.
12 Mr. Magoo's had 3 wins from 4 starts at 1600 metres. 2nd to Palladium Star, in good form.
Yeah, I think this is a trifle harder, but again, 21 starts, 8 wins, 6 placings, a handy form line, and obviously an above-average horse.
Burglar, a bit of a mystery, number 13. Stablemate of Solvit. Moira Murdoch, the trainer of Burglar, had Solvit to win the Cox Plate in 1994. It's won his last 2 at Hastings, but he looks up in class.
Yes, you would have to say the Murdoch influence is the major plus there, but I'd prefer to have a look at him.
Flavour won the 2-year-old race 7 years ago on this day. He's won 1.57 million. He's getting on his 9.
Too old for mine, but by gee, he doesn't look old, and perhaps he could run a race.
And 15, Mr. Casanova, 4th of the Valley, but 42 days ago behind Dandy Kid. He's a good horse at 1600, 5 starts, 3 wins.
Yes, I just prefer to have a look at him today, but Colin Alderson's obviously got him in good nick.
So that's the lineup. Atlantis Prince, interesting here. Peter Donegan is with Alan Byrne from the Godolphin stable.
Alan, first of all, your impressions of the day?
Oh, it's been an absolutely fantastic day. Great crowd, brilliant race, and a real privilege to be a part of it.
Grandera ran a wonderful race.
He did. He ran a fantastic race. You know, he's been beaten by a champion in Northerly. He's acquitted himself with distinction. You know, he's run 3rd, and he's run his heart out, and you can't ask for any more than that.
What can you tell us about Atlantis Prince here?
Atlantis Prince is a nice horse. He's probably... His last run was in England at Goodwood at the end of June. He won a listed race in quite good style. The ratings experts rated it about 110, 113 performance. It's just a question of how that form translates in Australia. He's been leading Grandera in most of his work at Sandown. He looks to be going well. I think he looks magnificent. So fingers crossed, we'll just see how the form compares.
And while I've got you here, the Melbourne Cup horses, how are they going? I had a look at Beekeeper after the Caulfield Cup. I didn't think he blew that much, so he's a very fit racehorse.
He is a fit horse, and he ran well, he came home well. We're obviously pleased to see Rain Gauge run well today because he was behind Beekeeper. Beekeeper's come out of the Caulfield Cup in really good shape, and we're delighted with him. Pugin's going nicely as well at home, and we've also got the possibility of Hathana too, so plenty to play for. We didn't win today, but we're going to give it a go in the Cup.
Alan, always good to have Godolphin here in Australia. Good luck in this, but in particular, good luck on the first Tuesday in November.
Many thanks.
Alan Byrne, there were some interesting things to say from Godolphin with Peter Donegan as they make their way to the barrier for the Waterford Crystal Mile. There has been a sensation here in the wake of Sunline leaving the track. With the report, Neil Kearney.
Sunline